What's up, guys? Today you'll learn how to find profitable competitors ASINs that you can use for your Amazon PPC campaigns. Okay, I just brought up this example, so we're gonna use this as an example for this video. So I'll show you how to find those specific competitors ASINs that are actually rolling in a lot of money, a lot of revenue. So what you're gonna do is just put your ads under these competitors listings to steal away some of that portion of sales that they're making. So it's going to be a very effective strategy to increase your sales on Amazon and run profitable campaigns. And later down the video, I will even show you how to set up these campaigns and what options or what things you should keep in mind when creating those campaigns. So without further ado, I think let's just hop right into this process. So this process will involve using Helium 10. It's a great tool. It will spit out a lot of product ideas and competitors ASINs based on the filters and criteria that you give to that tool and things that you set, But I want to take the time and show you around the page and just give you a little bit more perspective into Amazon PPC ads and how do they actually look on the listing, right? So if you scroll down the page, you'll see this section with the sponsored icons. So any brand, right, that shows up right here is actually advertising under this particular ASIN, and there are a lot of results. You can scroll down to that next page, right? You can move to the next page and you'll see all of these results are actually sponsored ones, and you can see that little icon that indicates that okay, these competitors, they are running ads on this actually product. So that's how actually ASIN targeting campaigns look on the page. It's really important to realize this concept when you are launching your campaigns, because I think it's important to know where your ads are going to appear once you launch those campaigns. So that hopefully clarifies that confusion you might have. And the reason why, for example, you can see at the beginning of the list, right, Orgain appears closer to that list is because they are bidding more than, for example, this competitor, Lenny and Larry's, right? So they're bidding more and they have higher bids on this ASIN than the competitor who is further down the page, further down the list. So yeah, this is the reason why this competitor shows up at the very start of the list. And yes, that's pretty much it when it comes to product targeting. So yeah, now that we got this out of the way, I think we can just dive straight into this process. So what you are going to do, the first step is going to be just to grab the product ASIN. So you can pick it up from the top bar, from the URL, or if you scroll down the page, you'll be able to find that ASIN as well. It's gonna be right here in this section, so just grab it just like that. Now we will pull up Helium 10. Yes, so go ahead, open a new tab in your browser, search up Helium 10, and now you'll select, click on the first result. You'll have to log into your account. Okay, so log into your account. Now we're gonna open up the black box tool. Right, and this is where we will actually start searching for those ASINs. So what you're gonna do is choose the advanced option because we want to apply certain filters and just narrow down our results when we start looking up these ASINs. Now you'll need to actually think of a keyword that quite well describes your product. So you need to think of a keyword that actually relates to your product and it matches and it is relevant. Most of all, the keyword that you want to put in right here in this filter has to be relevant to your product, and you can even go ahead, pull up the search results for that keyword if you are not sure if that's the right keyword. But most of the time, more often than not, you can actually get a good enough idea of your product by just looking at the title. So you can get a good idea of what is the right keyword to use, for this process, for this method, by just looking at the title of the listing. So in this case, I see that, okay, it says like plant-based protein bars. I'm gonna search this up and see what it brings up. Okay, so let's put in plant-based protein bars and hit the search button. All right, so that's just the first step. Now we want to refine the results by applying some of these filters. So what we can do is actually, since we want to find competitors where they lack in some kind of area, you know, perhaps they are charging a higher price, or maybe they have less images than our listing has. You know, maybe we've got all 7 images, and these competitors, we only want to focus, for example, on competitors that have less than 5 images, which is going to give us like a competitive edge. You know, it's really important. The name of the game is to actually find competitor ASINs where you have a competitive angle and a competitive edge on them, right? So we're gonna focus on this criteria, which are going to give us a competitive advantage. So let's say, okay, our product goes for around $29, as you can see, right? We are charging $29. Now I want to think, okay, what if I could get a list of competitors that are selling the same exact product? The only difference is that they are charging a higher price. Okay, so I might want to look up these competitors who are selling the same exact product. They have an identical offer of 12 count, right? As you can see, it says right here 12 count, but they are charging a higher price. And this is going to be one of our competitive angles, right? From the price aspect. So we're gonna put in the filter for the price. So let's scroll down. Okay, you see that says price. So we're gonna put in $30. Show me all the ASINs that are priced higher than $30. So they're selling the product at more than $30. And we can then go back up, just scroll back up, and you'll see, where is it? Let's find the filter, the revenue filter, because remember I told you I'll show you how to generate find those high revenue generating ASINs. So you can, for example, specify a certain number of revenue that want these competitors to be making. Okay, so we're gonna type in 10K. Okay, so this is going to pull up a list of ASINs that are at least making 10K in monthly revenue, and then we can hit apply filters, and you will see we're gonna have a good list of ASINs that we can then go through. And yeah, what I would now suggest you to do from there on is to pull up each and every listing, and now you are going to basically analyze that listing and closely look at each of these aspects, which might actually give us a competitive edge. So I pulled up one of these examples, one of these competitors listing, and as you can see, they are actually selling the same identical product, almost that identical product, because it's the same size, a pack of 12, and and we are selling the same size, right, 12 pack. So that's great, but they are actually charging a way higher price. It goes for $35 while we only take $29. So that right there gives us a competitive edge. And then you can also look at the images. Do they actually have a high quality listing? Are these images optimized? Is the listing well built out, and is it optimized? You know, you can think through a lot of ideas, and a lot of factors might actually give you a competitive angle that from which you can compete. You know, you can also take a look at images. In this case, they have like good and nice lifestyle images, infographic shots, etc. So I would not consider this kind of factor to be my competitive edge. But from the price aspect, we are actually we have a better offer, since this is the same count, yet we are charging a lower price. What else you can do is just remove this filter. Okay, so remove the price filter. Now we're gonna focus on competitors that have less than 5 images. We have, I think we have all 7 images this listing. Okay, so we're going to focus on competitors that have less than 5 images, and that's going to give us an opportunity to find these low quality ASINs. Okay, so let's find the filter for the images. Let's see, number of images, so we're gonna put in 5 right there, and you can click apply filters, and you'll see it's going to pull up the list of ASINs that match this criteria you set right there. So yeah, 49 results, and as you can see, so for example, I can open up this product, and this listing, they're making some money. You can see a lot of money actually. I'm not really sure why the tool is showing up that they're rolling in 60k in monthly revenue, but when we pull up the listing, it's actually selling way less. So never mind. As you can see, it literally gave us a shitty product. This is what is a very poor listing, not optimized listing. As you can see, just by looking at the images, you can see that they are not really well lit, they are not optimized, and it's just a poor quality listing. So we can take this to our advantage, and we can put ads under this listing and yeah, make a ton of sales by showing under this listing. So we're gonna take this ASIN, and I would just keep a track of all ASINs that I want to include in my Amazon PPC campaign. So I'll put it in the notepad, and I would just compile a list of ASINs that I will use in my Amazon PPC campaign. So that's a very poor competitor, and you can, as I mentioned, make a ton of sales by just creating an ASIN targeting campaign and showing under their listing, because they got a low star rating, very low reviews, yet they're selling some products, 50 plus in the past month. So we can still increase our sales a tiny bit by targeting this competitor. What else we can do is just go through this entire list. Okay, let's say this competitor showed up, right? Now I'm gonna drill down to this listing and see what they've got. Okay, so again, only 4 images, and it's so unoptimized, as you can see, that they have like only one real image of their product, and the main image is not optimized because it doesn't take up the entire space they've got here. So we can see that this is a poor listing again. They are selling, they have less reviews than what we have, right? We got over 1,000 reviews, so that's a good area. Okay, and they have a poor star rating, lower than ours. As you can see, they've got 4.3 stars, while we got 4.5 stars, and they're selling 400 units per month. As you can see, okay, they might be charging a lower price, but that doesn't really matter. So the price factor really fades away when they got a series of problems with their listing. And as you can see, the product quality is also not good because it's reflected in the star rating that, okay, a lot of customers are complaining about this product and it's just got a poor star rating. At least it's lower than what we got, so that signals an opportunity. And they got less reviews, the listing is not well built out, they don't even have, I think, okay, they've got bullet points, so that's good, but the images are poor and not optimized. So I would also include this competitor in my Amazon PPC campaigns, because as you can see, we found very poor competitors. All right, and yeah, I would repeat this process over and over again till I find or compile a list of, let's say, 20 ASINs, and then we can also use some other filters. So let's remove this number of images filter, and I'm gonna show you a few other ones. So we can focus on another one, which is going to be review count. So let's filter down to competitors, or narrow down this list to look at ASINs that have less than 500 reviews. Since we've got over 1,000 reviews, and this alone can help us really find or discover these ASINs that are not going to be a strong competitor, you know, but they are making a lot of money, so we still want to go after this ASINs. So let's scroll down, let's pull this up, and you'll see poor star rating, only 3.9 stars, under 50 reviews. They are charging a pretty much the same price, a little bit more expensive, but you can see that a competitive edge right here, you know, and the listing is not even optimized from the copy angle, you know, they don't have the right bullet points. All of them are very short, not focused on the benefits, it's more on the features, right? So you can see this is another competitor that we can pull in to our list of ASINs that we're going to target with our Amazon PPC campaigns. So just like that, guys, you can see, I think you got the gist of that method, or of my thought process, what I'm kind of thinking when I'm trying to come across these ASINs that I can then use in my Amazon PPC campaigns. Now let's hop right into the campaign creation part of this video. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to set up these profitable ASIN targeting campaigns and what kind of settings you should keep in mind and actually be aware of when, you know, creating those campaigns in order to be profitable with your ASIN targeting campaigns. So yeah, you'll just go ahead and pull up the advertising dashboard, and then you'll have to click on this button, create campaign. So let's click on that. All right, now you're going to select sponsor products, and now you can just choose the name. So I would use the name which would be something that I can easily identify later on. You know, you want to recall your campaign as needed. For example, I don't want to have a random name where I'm not really sure what is going on, you know, with this campaign. So first of all, I would just type in the product identifier. So let's say we are selling like a water drink. Okay, so I will type in the product name, water drink. Okay, and you can also if you have lots of variations, you can also specify the flavor or like the variation theme, you know. So yeah, and then you can just separate this by hyphen. We're gonna now use the ASIN. So let's grab a random ASIN and put it right besides the product identifier, and then we want to do ASIN, and now we are going to do like yeah, and then you can just leave it as it is, or you can add some more information if you want to make this very like convenient for you to check later on. So let's say we can do we can specify the source of where we pulled out those ASINs. So let's say we found this from Helium 10, so I'm gonna type it in as well, and yeah, that's how we can you know, like that's how we can actually set up these campaigns. All right, so yeah, keep it simple and something that you can easily identify, you know, when needed. So yeah, and now you can just, okay, then we are gonna select the product. So we can pick any product you want to advertise. So let's say I'm advertising this product, even though the product name with the product is not really like related, but I'm just doing this as an example. Obviously you need to use the scroll down, then you'll select manual targeting, then select product targeting. All right, and now we're gonna paste all the ASINs that we found from just, you know, using our method. So yeah, you can deselect expanded and check exact. Okay, and now just take all of these ASINs from your list and paste it right there in this box, and now just hit target. Okay, and you can start with a suggested bid, or if you want to be really aggressive and win as much impressions as possible and show under your competitors' products as many times as possible, you can actually set a higher bid and go even above the higher end of the suggested bid. So you can do $6 if you know that's your goal, to actually be very aggressive and make as many sales as possible. But obviously it depends on your brand goals and what you are trying to achieve with this campaign. So I would actually suggest you to start off with the suggested bid, and you can always revisit this campaign, go back to your campaign and readjust the budget or bids of your ASINs later on. So we can do the suggested bid. Okay, it's going to be fine actually. You'll still be generating and getting a lot of impressions, but yeah, you can always, as I mentioned, bump up the bids as you want. So yeah, now scroll down. We're gonna select for the bidding strategy. I would recommend to go with down only because it's going to be a conservative strategy, and we can then make sales at lower ACOs. You know, if you set up and down, you can really like explode your ACOs and, you know, inflate your ACOs, because Amazon might raise your bids up to like 100%. So if you set a bid of $2, let's say I set the so let's okay, so let's say I set a bid of $2. Okay, so I'll set the bid of $2. Now if we select the bidding strategy up and down, Amazon might think, okay, this customer, based on previous sales history and this customer's behavior, we see that, okay, it's very likely that the click is going to lead to a conversion. Okay, so what they might actually do is raise your bids up to 100%, meaning that $2 might actually suddenly become $4, and you'll actually be charged $4 for that click. If you select up and down, right, as you can see, it actually tells you we will raise your bids by a maximum of 100% in real time. So yeah, you can really like bump up your bids and explode your ACOs. And yeah, that's not something, if you are starting off, I would not recommend you to choose this strategy. You know, I would stick to down only because it's conservative and you'll be able to maintain your profitability in the most effective way. Okay, and then for the campaign name, so for the campaign name, we can just keep it consistent, you know. So we're gonna take the name from that group and use the same one for our campaign. So we can take the name, copy it, and paste it right there. And you can set a daily budget. I would start off with anywhere like from $20 to, I don't know, $100. It really depends on how much you can allocate to each campaign, you know, and how much you can spend money on ads. But you can start off with $10 and raise this budget as time goes on, you know, based on your goals and the profitability of this campaign. And now we're gonna click this button to launch our campaign. Remember when I told you that you need to pick up the ASIN from the listing, right? Either from the top bar or by scrolling down the page and finding that way, is because you'll have to actually use some of these other sections within the black box tool. All right, because we've got a few different sections, and each is going to really give you different products. That is why it's important to combine a few of these other methods. So we can, for example, once you find all these ASINs, you pull up the ASINs that you want, you know, you can move on to the next section, which is going to be competitors and product targeting. So by combining these few tools and methods, you'll be able to really do a thorough and comprehensive analysis on products that you can advertise on and put your ads under, right? So that is going to be another tab that you can use, another section. So you'll have to put in your ASIN. Let's just copy this ASIN. As you can see, the Zoom link appear there, sorry. So let's copy the ASIN, you'll put it right there, and that is going to be an identical process to the one that I've showed you before. You will have to apply certain filters, and you'll find all the ASINs that you want that meet these criteria you set within the tool. So it's really good method for finding those ASINs that you could not otherwise discover. Obviously you can run an auto campaign, which is going to then give you lots of random ASINs, but so you can each month go ahead, you know, go in and dive into your advertising dashboard, download that search term report, and you know, extract all ASINs that have brought you sales. So you can also run an auto campaign, but I think a manual approach is going to be way quicker, you know, and it's going to save you time, especially if you're launching your product. And Amazon might not be actually familiar with your product because you might have put together all the information not correctly, right? Because the thing is, with auto campaigns, Amazon is going to scroll the web, right, and analyze all the data structures within your listing to determine what keywords or what ASINs they should show your product for, right? So it's a slow approach, and especially if you're launching, I think that a manual approach will work better for you and generate better results, more profitable results. So that is why I would preach you to use these methods, right? And just, you know, adopt this kind of manual approach where you are going to Helium 10, you know, then putting in the ASIN, opening, and then, you know, finding those ASINs that actually are related to your product ASIN, or like based on the keyword you can pull up a lot of ASINs that will be relevant to that keyword you put to that tool. So yeah, this is a great method. Again, you apply certain filters. You can set, for example, a number of images that you want to narrow down to. Okay, let's say, I don't know, I want to look at competitors who have unoptimized listings, so it should be less than 5 images, or we can go with 3 images if you want to be very specific and find those low hanging fruit ASINs, right? You can also set a revenue number, you can set a review count, you can set a review rating. Let's say I want to only narrow down this to low quality products that have less than 3.9 star rating, or we can see who has just recently started selling on Amazon. They don't have a big sales history, so review counts might help us to find those fresh sellers, right, who are just coming to the market. And then you can also use the price filter, all the things that I've showed you before. You can implement this to another method within the competitors tab, and you can then go to product targeting. It's going to be pretty much identical to competitor section. You punch the ASIN right here, you apply certain filters, you hit search, you pull up all of these different ASINs, then you can drill down to each to the listing of each of those ASINs, and yeah, just analyze, try to figure out if you have a unique value proposition, and based on that you can then target this with high bids, or you can target this very conservatively, right, and set a low bid. It depends obviously on your brand goals and how aggressive you want to be with your campaigns, and how quickly you want to roll in those sales. So this pretty much sums up the entire process of finding those potential competitor ASINs. And I just wanted to let you know that I actually run an Amazon PPC agency where we help Amazon brands and sellers scale to 6 and 7 figures in monthly revenue. So if you are making around 30 or 40k in monthly revenue and you would like to grow your Amazon business without any kind of commitment, since we have a very flexible payment structure, we only charge a percentage of the revenue, or of course you have an option that you might give us a monthly retainer and then we manage your ads based on that, but we prefer to work based on a percentage of the revenue, since we then are incentivized to deliver better results for your brand, right? So if this is something of interest to you, you can go ahead, visit our website, and then you'll be able to schedule a free discovery call with my team. We will get to know to your brand goals, you know, about your brand. If we find that we are the right fit to work together, we're gonna make some money together, you know. So let's make some money together. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video. I can only put out that much content, but I always try to provide as much value as possible to Amazon's community. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day.